All right, everybody. This is Jeff. Welcome to the channel. I'm on here somewhat formally right now. Alex is not available, it seems, but that's fine. He is resting, and that's a good thing. But I'm here, and I wanted to come on and talk about the day. I have appropriately titled this video as Jeff is on deck. The end of Bitcoin? Are we facing the dreaded cryptocurrency apocalypse? Well, that video thumbnail accompanies Homer Simpson standing there with a sign that says, "The end of the world." I've been at work all day, and Alex told me that a few things were going on in the news. So I saw the report that came out on CoinDesk earlier. I'll pull it up on the screen. I'm sure I'm telling some of you what you already well know, but let's go over it together. The article that I have on the screen right now. So the CFTC sends subpoenas to Bitfinex and Tether. Cryptocurrency exchange Bitfinex and Tether, the company behind the controversial USDT coin, has been subpoenaed by the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, according to a new report from Bloomberg. Citing an unnamed source, Bloomberg said that the CFTC had sent queries to both companies. The news comes days after CoinDesk reported that Tether's relationship with auditing firm Friedman LLC had dissolved, though it still remains unclear which party moved to curtail the work. Friedman had been working on the audit with Tether, which is closely linked to the British Virgin Islands-based Bitfinex. Quote, "We routinely receive legal process from law enforcement agents and regulators conducting investigations. It is our policy not to comment on any such requests," unquote, the companies said in a statement to Bloomberg. A representative declined further comment when reached. The news is likely to further inflame the controversy around Tether's USDT token, which functions as kind of a synthetic dollar. Critics have argued that the token isn't backed on a one-to-one ratio with the US dollar as otherwise claimed, and that the tokens generated by Tether in recent weeks have been used to boost the price of Bitcoin, particularly during times of market weakness. The report also sparked a rout in price of Bitcoin, sending it below 10,000 as word emerged about the CFTC subpoenas. At press time, the price of Bitcoin is trading at $9,957.88. So there's the news. So it appears that folks get the news and they're probably trying to exercise some wisdom and you know, you gotta live with your decisions. So if you stay in, you stay in. If you don't, you don't. You gotta live with your choices. So I've been looking at the chat a little bit here before when I got home to see what folks were saying before I stepped in. I see people hodling and whatnot. Right now, I'm not doing anything at this moment. I think probably a lot of people went into who were in USDT probably cashed out today. Yeah, well, yeah, probably. So let's take a look at more of this before I start looking at the chat. I just need to, if you pardon me, I just need to sort of take the path of this conversation that I had planned loosely on the way home. Again, it's a work day for me, and I haven't had a lot of time to think this out. Of course, I'm looking at the chart right now, full screen of BTC USDT from Binance. We see that it bounced at 10. It's now up to 10.5. Let's go on. Let's go to ETH. It's back to 11. All I got to say is, rats, I missed the drop. I didn't have a chance to get in there and buy the ETH. Yeah, Ethereum when it was down lower. See, I wasn't planning on getting out. I was planning on getting in. I actually had alerts going off on my phone all the way home telling me I need to do something. And I missed it. Shucks. Well, let's click on here. Verge dropped down underneath 700. I know that was under the XVG BTC pair. That was earlier. It's up to 708. I say again, shucks, I missed it again, as we say here in Indiana. Shucks. Doggone it. I missed it. I was going to buy more. Now, do I sound like I'm panicking? No, I'm not. So let's look on here. So I've already looked at that report. So I got to say, I got to get out my little sound effects bag and little all my buttons here on the screen. This is the one I picked.
No.
Oh, all the thousands of voices that were going.
No.
Oh, all the way down. How many people sold today? Okay. Well, I wasn't going to come on here and play Don't Worry, Be Happy, and I'm not naive. I know that folks, if that's what you need to do is sell off, then sell off. But, your sell is my opportunity to buy. So I'm not bailing out. I'm not going to be a fool. I'm going to pay attention the next several days and see what happens. But and I see right here, actually, you just took the words right out of my mouth, Crypto. Tether actually has not moved much from its formal movement. So everybody step back, take a deep breath, and let's see what happens here. I just want to encourage everyone today. Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will bring its own worries. So let's talk about this for a few minutes here. So let's see what's going on in the chat. What are your thoughts? And let me get the chart back up while I'm at it. Let's scroll back here and see what you guys are saying. Benjamin says Bitcoin has made enough people rich and it's time to move forward. Not sure what that means. Kadulia says relax. The end of Bitcoin, ha ha ha. Yeah. So yeah, I was being a little funny when I made that title. The end of the world, the end of Bitcoin. U.S. regulator subpoena crypto exchange Bitfinex Tether by Matthew Leasing. Okay, John. You were just pasting something in there. So Izzy, no, I was just funning a little bit in the title there. So no, I wasn't. I don't mean that it's the end. Notice the question marks I put on there. Let's talk about that. Is it over? No, John says it's not over. I agree. Just Bitcoin or all currencies? No. Yo, Jeff, change the title. No, it's not FUD. That is what exactly everybody's thinking. So if you take a minute to come in here and talk about this, you're going to find out that if you have that anxiety, I want to speak to that. So no, it's not the end. But I think that's what a lot of people are thinking right now. I think it was apparent in the sell-off that we saw today. So we need to stop and relax. Don't worry, I will be changing that subject back when I'm done talking. I will not leave it on here unattended when I jump offline. But while I'm in here, and while people are coming in, listen, everybody. You do what's right for you. You make your own decisions. I'm not responsible for that. I'm not your financial advisor. But I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm not freaking out over this, and I'm not selling off. I'm hodling. Now, if any of you have been following me since New Year's Eve, okay, I'm back to that. Okay, this is me, the same person, and I'm saying, take a deep breath, and let's not get stressed out and make some mistakes here. Okay, let's think through this. Let's talk about it. What are you thinking right now? What are you thinking? I'm looking at the chat. Okay, get over the title. All right. If people are new and they see that, they're going to come in here, and what they're going to find is the exact opposite of what it's the question. It's what they're thinking, and I want to talk about that. Yep, Lee, it is a rough day for crypto, and that's exactly why I came online. Frankly, I did not plan to come online tonight. I had other things to do, but I care enough. I wanted to come on here and talk to the community. So I notice if I don't change the title up once in a while, that everybody gets a little numb to it. But I think today is the appropriate day to speak the question, is it the end of crypto? My answer is no, it is not. This is another dip. And how many days now, listen to me, folks, how many days now have many YouTubers been saying there would be another big dip? All right. And does anybody recall a couple of days ago when I was in here talking about Ethereum and I said, I'm waiting for another dip? Remember I said that? Okay, so there you go. And unfortunately, it happened when I was in the car and I couldn't get to it. I wanted that dip. I missed it. Okay, so I'm not exiting crypto. It's not over. But if you are thinking about it, you better think twice. This is the time to buy. Jim Jam says, thinking, buy. Right. XPG down the drain. No, it is not down the drain. It dipped like everything else, CryptoGeek. Take a look at what it did. It popped back up from the 600s, just like everything else. So let's chill here. XPG is in a waiting state. Everybody's waiting for what Bitcoin is going to do. It's going to go sideways until that occurs. It's going to go sideways or parallel with what Bitcoin does. So that's why XPG is in a wait state right now. And I'm fine with that. I've been fine with that. It's watching BTC and Ethereum for it to do the dip, but my anxiety has not been that it would go into a dip. I've been looking forward to it. Let's get it over with and let's move on. Lee the Tree says, step away and chill for a few days. Everybody, it'll be fine. Great words. Perfect. Hope? Yes, there's hope, Max. Market oversaturated, over-market saturated ICOs, fraud coins, and no use. Oh, say okay. Let's just get 8,500 already so we can move up from there. Yes. Tired of these mini dips. Yeah, exactly. I didn't even read your comment before I said all that. Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking. So listen, guys and gals. If you're on here listening to me right now, if you came in because of the title I put up, good. So what I'm trying to say to you is what some were already saying in this chat before I arrived. I would highly recommend you think twice before you let this panic drive you out of crypto, selling off. I wouldn't. I'm not going to. You want to do that? Your loss, my gain. I'm buying. But unfortunately, I missed my dip on Ethereum, but that's okay. I still might get another dip. I don't know. It's at 10.5 on Bitcoin. Maybe I'll get another chance later. So you guys good? Talk about it with me. Come on, guys. When I started this channel weeks ago, this is the moment I wait for. Okay, this is the moment. I'm good under pressure. I know how to deal with pressure. If you're not, you're in the right place. So let's just talk it out. What are your worries? Are you okay? If not, put it out on the chat. Now, I'm going to pop up the Discord for a second, okay? So those of you who are on Discord, feel free to join in. And we'll talk for just a little bit. I invited Alex to come in if he can, but he may be sleeping. And I'll tell you what, he needs to do that. He needs to get his days turned around. So I'm coming on. I think I see Matt on here.
Right? So that means that there's only 15%
hey, Matt.
of that total market cap out there. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, I just got through with my little rant on the channel, and I am a man on a mission here, Matt. If you didn't hear what I was saying, I set up the title on the YouTube description in case you didn't hear, and it says, let me read it to you. It says, Jeff is on deck. The end of Bitcoin? ? Are we facing the dreaded cryptocurrency apocalypse? And I put a picture of Homer Simpson on there with the end of the world sign hanging on him. So what I'm saying, Matt, is until I go off the channel, I am in here right on a mission. Anybody who sees that and they come in here, you know what I'm doing. I want them to come in here. I want to speak to that, because if that's what they're asking, then we need to speak to that. This is our chance. This is why we started this channel weeks ago during the XPG scare. Now we're in another scare. So this is when I shine. And so I think I saw you earlier, Matt. I think I saw you say before I jumped on her, you said you're hodling, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm hodling. I'm hodling.
Actually, are you like me?
I'm buying, actually.
Oh, Matt, you wouldn't believe what happened. All of a sudden, my phone goes off on the way home. My app starts telling me, oh, Ethereum is dipped down to it was like about 10, and then it mentioned that Bitcoin had dipped below 10, and I'm like, oh no, I'm in the car. And by the time I got home, Matt, I missed the dip. I was going to buy more. Oh, I can't believe it.
You'll get another chance.
Yeah,
You'll get another chance.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I will, but of course, I want to make sure I'm not in the car next time. But my point is, and everybody on the channel is listening to me right now, my point is, if you're a newbie, did I sound scared about the dip? No, I'm not scared. I wanted to get it over with. Other YouTubers have been saying for days, although I really don't like to buy into the whole thing about, it's going to dip, because I think sometimes if enough people say it's going to dip, then the will of consensus makes something happen. But I think it was inevitable. There was going to be a dip. So guys, listen to me. If you're on the channel listening and you're coming in here, and some people mad on here are like ranting and saying, change the title, Jeff, change the title. You're just doing clickbait. Exactly. I want people to come in here so I can say, if you are saying that to yourself, please relax. I think this is gonna be fine. I'm hodling. So folks, if you're concerned about the Tether thing, yeah, that is an issue. That's a concern. Some of you are cashing out, on USDT. Hey Matt, if you had a bunch of USDT right now based on what's going on with Tether, what would be your defensive position? Everybody's listening to you.
I would move it directly into Ether. Because everyone that's got a BTC tether pair has a ETH tether pair. And Ether is going to take the top spot. That is my prediction.
Okay. And actually,
I'm not sure that it's going to stay there forever, but I think it'll briefly hit the top spot. I think we're going to dive. I think that Bitcoin has still got, it's going on sale. And right now that means that you should be buying. Yeah, I mean, there's coins that I think you should buy. I don't want to show them.
There you go, folks. So did you hear what he said? It's like me. Did you hear me say when I jumped on here, rats, I missed my chance to get some Ethereum, at least that chance. So in other words, he and I are thinking the same thing. We're not thinking, oh no, cash out. It's not that. No, that's not what we're doing. We're looking at an opportunity. Now, Matt, we may have some newbies coming in here because I think there's probably a lot of scare. If you look at the channel, right now we're up to 54 people. We maybe have newbies in here, and I want to make sure that we heard this. So the best defensive position you can have right now, as Matt was suggesting, is that if you have a USDT Ethereum pair, all right, and because of the concern right now, I mean, it's a concern. It's not, there's a subpoena, right? There's a little bit of a scare. If there's a concern over USDT, then maybe your best move is not to cash out, but to go to where, Matt?
Ethereum.
So Matt, be my co-host if you would. So tell the newbies in here if they have USDT, let's say USDT Verge pair, what would be their steps to take exactly? If let's say they're on Binance.
So if you have like a USDT Verge pair and you're like, you want to buy Verge, and you're hedging in Tether, move it over to Ethereum. And I'm going to throw this one out there right now, but I'm not a financial advisor, right? Like, I'm just some guy who holds a bunch of coins. I am very bullish on Ethereum right now, based on what I'm seeing, and the use of Ethereum. I'm not going to say I'm bearish on Bitcoin because I buy into Bitcoin, but I am saying that we're in a bear market with Bitcoin. So, if you're going to buy at the dip, everybody's been calling 8, but my prediction is it's going to go lower than 8. If it hits like the target I'm thinking, I'm going to be buying Bitcoin because I believe it's going to spring back up. I don't have time frames. If you're looking for, short hits, I couldn't tell you what to do. But Ethereum is strong, and Ethereum is going to remain strong. And like right now, if I was hedging into Tether from other coins, I would hedge into Ethereum. I'm holding my coins because I like the positions I have. I found some tokens that I wanted today, and I decided not to sell anything at a loss to get them. I threw in more fiat money. I didn't want to do it, but I want these coins. So I had to pull in my wallet and throw more money at Coinbase, right? And I took the hit on the fees and all that, but everything is on sale right now. So I'm looking at it as, right now Ethereum is looking to be the top spot, and like that's probably a short-term move. But I think this is going to be Ethereum's year. There's a lot of stuff coming out. Bitfinex, Tether, I'd get away from them. I think centralized exchanges are last year's thing, and I think that we're going to start seeing a lot more decentralized exchanges. You're starting to see a lot of ICOs. There's a few of them out there. Um, a lot of them are hard to use, but there's new ones coming up that are not hard to use and offer greater security because you're not handing your wallet to somebody that you don't know. The whole point of this stuff is to avoid that kind of behavior. But in the meantime, we've been dealing with these centralized exchanges, like look at Mt. Gox, right? Like, hey, I want to put my money in this guy's pocket, and he used to run a Magic the Gathering website, right? Now, Binance, I like Binance. Binance is pretty cool, but it makes me nervous keeping coins up there. I see Roger Maris says BitShares. Yeah, BitShares is hot. There's an ICO going right now. They're a decentralized exchange called DX. They're using BitShares as their platform. We were just talking about this in the Discord, and the decentralized exchanges are on the move right now.
Well, that's all good information. And Matt, I'm just going to be a good moderator here and say that as we get people coming and going, I want to make sure I keep reiterating, coming back to this whole stream, this hour, is all about addressing the question that a lot of people are asking and have been asking today. The end of Bitcoin, are we facing the dreaded cryptocurrency apocalypse? And you're going to find in here that I came with my opinion is no. Actually, this is actually the beginning of another day of opportunity. It is a cryptocurrency flea market, folks. This is a time, you have some dips. Right now, it's not quite as much of a dip as it was earlier. I missed my chance. But you don't hear me running for the hills. You see me running toward opportunity. So, folks, listen. If you're coming in here and you are upset and worried, stick around for just a little bit while we talk about this. And I promise to those of you who don't like the title of the video, I will not leave it up there once I walk away. I will not. It's only here while I'm here to talk about it. I'm looking up here just some of the more of the comments. Somebody says, just hold and be calm. I was sick the last 2 weeks and I stopped watching charts every hour, once a day. Okay, it drives you crazy when you watch it all the time. I hold, I don't go crazy. Several people in here, some regulars, some not, saying the same thing. Like what I'm saying, there is opportunity. Anthony D, his opinion is Tether is fine, nothing to worry about, just government wanting to get their fingers in the cookie jar. That very, very well could be. Have we ever seen these situations before where the media seems to be trying to blow up Bitcoin? Have we seen that? I think so. So listen, fear is not the way here. Fear gets in the way of making good choices. So for those of you who are new in here, just try to relax and let's keep talking through this. Jim Jam says he disagrees. Ethereum is strong but not immune comparing to BTC. What do you think of that thought there, Matt?
So I think Ethereum is strong, and I think that I think Ethereum's going to take a dip. I really do. We were talking about this the other day. You were calling 700. I was calling 6. So I mean, yeah, it's going to take a dip, but I believe there's a ton of utility in it. There's a ton of utility in Ethereum. I'm seeing distributed applications come up that are working and very useful. And you need Ethereum as a blockchain to run these things. And there is a ton of money in these companies, like VC money, investor money, right? Like the tokens that they put on ICO are just a small part of it. Do I think Ethereum is the best dApp chain? No. But it's the one that we have, and it's the one that people have been developing for. And it is this year's bet on what the platform is. Next year's bet might be Neo. If you want to do long-term stuff, start looking at Neo. Start looking at A-Chain. Start looking at these chains that are not all done and running, because those are the ones that are going to have the applications in a couple of years. Why are we in this space? Is it to get in on some established company? No, we're trying to hop into buying opportunities that are young buying opportunities. Like, what's the best coin to get on? The coin that's not on a lot of exchanges. What's the, why do people go crazy for ICOs? Because you get it at a cheap price. Once it gets on a bunch of exchanges, it goes up, right? We're looking for big gains, right? Mm-hmm. Some of these things you're gonna hold for a while. Anything that's on a big exchange right now, stuff that's on Binance, stuff that's like got years worth of history, it's gonna go up, right? This whole market is gonna go up, but it's not gonna go up as much as these small cap. So, I mean, like, take your buying decisions and, like, do your research and, try to predict some future with the knowledge that you have and, make decisions like that and then stick by them. I'm holding my coins. I got 50 coins that are all red right now. Now, not all of them are red, but most of them are red right now. And, I could sell them. I could put them into that one that's green. But what if it's red tomorrow? Why did I buy those coins? I bought those coins because I bought into the project. So, if you got coins you like, if you're holding assets that you got for a reason, that reason hasn't changed because Bitcoin is having a problem right now.
Well, the whole fear factor has been amazing for me to watch today, just out of my peripheral vision here. It's like, oh, what's going on here? I see Twitter lighting up, and I really wanted to get home earlier and deal with this. Real quick, I just say, so I'm actually split across Ethereum, USDT, and Bitcoin almost evenly.
Nice.
Yeah, and I did that a few weeks ago. Actually, I did the Ethereum stage just about a week ago. And yeah, well, that's the only thing I'm looking at and making an adjustment. But I probably don't need to I probably just need to watch for my opportunity this evening or in the morning to do that, to make an adjustment. I mean, so guys, so what I'm saying to you, I'm looking over here at the chat stream. So whatever tweak that I'm going to do on my USDT right now is not the exact hour I should do that. I missed that about an hour ago. Probably will have another opportunity by the morning. And that's what I will do. And I'm going to just basically distribute myself between BTC and ETH. So there you go. So you just consider that. But I just think it's such a sad, unfortunate thing that so many people cashed in their USDT today. I just think that's sad. But that's just me. I'm reading more of the chat stream here. Oh, so don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, thank you. I always forget to say that. But guys, listen, this is one of the reasons why I do this channel. This is our prime time during a crisis.
No.
So let's see here. Ethereum is. Wait, I apologize. I already read that. Continuing on.
No.
Okay, so we have Zuman. He's asking what's the title about. Just so since some of you are just entering the channel, I deliberately put that title out there because I think that's what a lot of people are asking. But when you come in here, if you've been listening or if you rewind the video and you listen to what I've been saying the last 45 minutes, the answer to the question is I don't think so. If I put the title and I said it's a time to buy, all right, then nobody's going to come in and discuss that. All right? Nobody's going to come in and discuss it. They're just going to say, oh, it's time to buy. I want to do that. No, I think you need to understand why this is a time to buy. And that's what we're talking about. So rewind the video and listen to it a little bit. I promise I'll put a clip out there later, and so you can all review this. But, hey, guys, listen. If you're just joining the channel, relax. All right? We've seen sort of worse than that. I mean, we've seen at least it go this wrong before, and we know what it's about. So all I would say is, listen, keep watching your news. Think about what Matt and I were just talking about. If you missed it, rewind, listen to it again. I'm not going to sit here and repeat it all evening. I do want to get a clip out so folks can listen to this again and again. I don't say the same thing as well over and over as I do the first time. Anthony suggesting that I buy some Neo, known as the Chinese Ethereum.
Actually, I suggest that as well.
Okay, so
I'm gonna say Neo. That's next year's big thing. Like you won't go wrong by Neo.
okay, so everybody catching that? What are you saying? Let's take a look at Neo. I don't have any Neo right now. Is that on Binance? I think.
Yeah, they have on Binance.
Let's take a look at it real quick. Now you're talking about Neo under BTC pair?
Let's see.
Or Neo under Ethereum.
One of the things I really like about Neo is that it is a trading pair on KuCoin, which is kind of nice. So you can buy Neo coins on, there's a USDT pair for Neo as well.
Okay, well, listen, check this out, fellas. So I'm looking at Neo. I just popped it up under Ethereum pair on Binance. Do I see a head and shoulders that just occurred? Looks like it's going down the right side, finishing up a head and shoulders. Is that what I see there? Classic move. And do I see a big sell-off at what? What time was that? It was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it just sort of continued on. Guys, you can sort of work with that that pattern there. I'm not going to sit here and analyze it, but right now I don't think I'm going to buy Neo at this minute. If I buy Neo, I might expect it to drop down to an Ethereum 12. Let's see here, 12,757 in that area. Matt, would you say there might be a buy-in opportunity there, probably in the next 24 hours?
Yeah.
I'm just eyeballing this, but.
Yeah. It's not like right now is not the ideal time to buy Neo.
Oh no.
It's consolidating on this support.
Right. Well, maybe as low as 12.5. I tend to go above what I would think, but just if I eyeball it, 12.5 maybe in the next 24 hours. So again, guys, buying opportunities here. And listen.
Yeah. The other one is Neo gives you.
Go ahead, Matt.
Which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Neo also pays a dividend in gas, which is nice. So you buy one coin, you get two out of it. It just shows up.
For the people who are coming in here who are new, just speaking from a higher level, a friend to this channel I was actually talking to in a private conversation a few days ago. We were going sort of deep, just asking the question: Is cryptocurrency something that's just a passing thing? Well, maybe that's another whole video, but I'm telling you right now, oh no. We're seeing the Wild West ups and downs right now. I can't imagine Bitcoin trying to go away. What I'm seeing is there are factions who don't want to see it exist, but in large, it needs to exist. There is a will to make it exist. This is just a low. Just step back for a moment. Just imagine for a moment. Let's say somebody had the hammer and could kill cryptocurrency today. It's just suddenly we woke up in the morning, the news is you no longer have access to your exchanges, it's shut down. Just try to imagine socially what would happen at that point. Just imagine. Oh my goodness. No, it's already out of the bottle. It's just right now we're undergoing a low, and there's a lot of FUD. There's just so many factors, but you can still see that we sort of saw this coming. What's happening today? It's just a little delayed, but I'm hodling. I'm buying, waiting for the next dip that I missed on the way. The gentleman who came in here a little late missed what I said. I missed it. I missed a dip earlier that I've been waiting for. I was in the car on the way home. Now Matt thinks we're actually not going to get another dip, but maybe it's going to dip a little lower before it goes elsewhere. So you know what? I'm not worried about that. I'm actually like, oh, good. because I have confidence it's going to come up from there. And I'm not being a financial advisor. Be really clear about that. I love having to give disclaimers. Look in the description. I've got the disclaimer in there. But you know what? Everything I'm saying, I'm doing. That's me personally. So carefully consider if you're going to do the opposite. Make sure you really think about it before you proceed, before you sell off.
Izzy's asking if I buy XVG right now.
Izzy,
I am not currently buying XVG. I am holding XVG and I'm waiting to like get back to, you know, I've been cost averaging on XVG. I've been trying to get my cost down, so I've been selling and buying and selling and buying and selling and buying on these dips. And I'm just like consolidating my position just like the whales are doing on XVG. I would not currently throw more money at XVG because I'm still down on XVG. I like it as a project. I think it's great. But XVG follows Bitcoin. If you look at the Bitcoin chart, you look at the XVG chart, you will notice a whole lot of similarities there. I really like that project, but the things that I'm buying right now are things that are not on Binance, things that aren't even on KuCoin. I'm looking for the little tiny deals that have a possibility of giant return, rather than you know, something that's like kind of out there.
Okay.
So hold on to your XVG.
And I'll put in my 2 cents. 2 cents. I'll put in my 2 Bitcoins. All my XVG is held, and I'm in a good position. I'm not moving at all. And actually, in what Matt's decided to do is just right for him. I probably would have bought maybe a little bit more during the dip earlier, but that's just me. And Matt, there's a coin that I'm not familiar with, Ignis coin. Somebody's asking for.
I don't know anything about Ignis. Let me.
Well, it looks like since the 30th, it sort of jumped from I guess USD 60 cents to 240, and it right now looks like it. I'm just looking at a loose chart. It looks sort of like it's in a correction sideways pattern. I don't have
Let me take a look.
The thing. It's always a disadvantage when you don't know anything about a coin. You're just looking at a chart. I don't know if there's more behind that coin. I would have to research it, and definitely there's more qualified.
How long has this coin been on Binance? I'm not seeing much chart at all, or on Bittrex.
I don't know. It's not even on Binance. So.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on TradingView. So, like, I see Ignis going up. Okay, that's cool. It entered in real high. Let me look at CoinMarketCap.
I actually the price did not go up to 240. I misread it. My glasses give me the wrong colors. Sorry. But it went.
Okay, I'm looking.
Go ahead.
CoinMarketCap has like a better chart than TradingView because they're pulling off of Bittrex speed and it just hasn't been there for very long. So what I'm seeing is that it entered the market, spiked, dropped down. It's been, you know, looks like it was forming a cup. Maybe it's coming up out of it. You know, we'll see if it handles. Let's see. I just don't know anything about this.
What we can say is probably that one thing we can say without knowing any more about it. What goes up quickly must come down. So if it was just introduced today, then there's going to be pullback. So any newbies out there, the second we start mentioning a coin and you see a price, don't think if you dive in right now you're going to be happy tomorrow when it pulls back. Nothing stays up after launch. Right, Matt?
Yeah, it was, interesting. It was conducted on NXT. That's cool. They did their ICO on NXT. ICO. Yeah, I mean, this looks interesting. I really don't know a whole lot about either one of these chains. I'll look into it. But there's so much stuff out there. There's so much stuff out there It's hard to keep track of all the projects. Um,
Well,
yeah,
just
the
to
chart doesn't look bad. I'll just say that.
no, and I guess that the way that fits into the theme of the reason I started the stream here in the last hour was nothing to me looks that bad right now. It actually looks like opportunity. And Matt, I'm sorry that I keep repeating myself, but people keep, they coming in, they're responding, they're reacting to the title of the video. And so I want to make sure that the message is not lost in this. Folks, this is a time of opportunity. That's what dips are. And do you think Bitcoin is going to, like I said in the title, the end of Bitcoin, the dreaded apocalypse? I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, seriously, do you really think cryptocurrency is going to get killed off? Do you really think that? Go out and check yourself. Look into it. Think about it. Like I said, 2-hour conversation yesterday. Somebody who's frankly a lot smarter than me, who came up with a lot of reasons why cryptocurrency, there is a will behind it to make it happen. Between the FUD and the manipulation, it's always going to be volatile. The gentleman on here, he said he's been basically off the charts for a couple of weeks because he's been busy with life, and he comes back and he finds that things are pretty much where they were 2 weeks ago, right? So the sky will not fall. Seriously. So yeah, Izzy, somebody's thanking you for answering the question. Izzy is thanking you for. Sorry about that.
No problem. The thing is, blockchain ain't going anywhere, right? Like this stuff is here. This is technology. Companies are starting. Like people are invested in this. There's a lot going on in this space. Right now everything's falling Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the first one. Now, is it always going to be the big one? I don't know. But I don't think it's going to go down and stay down. I think it's going to go down. Like there's up, down, sideways. But it's hard to tell the time frames on these things as well, right? And I know a lot of people put in more money than they could lose, right? Or more money than perhaps was prudent at the time. Mm-hmm. And you need that money to survive. And I get this, right? You put a lot of money out there, and now you gotta wait, and that sucks. No one's happy about that. But Mt. Gox didn't kill Bitcoin. It just made it wait longer, right? There have been big problems in this space before, and it has not killed the market. And it's always responded by coming back stronger. But it doesn't always happen right away. The key to all of this is patience.
Yep. You are absolutely right.
If you sell, you're out of the game.
Mm-hmm. And actually, just on a positive note, somebody's asking, is this the right time to buy XRP? Well, I just brought up the chart, man. I don't know if you could. I've had it up for at least 20 seconds on the stream. I'm looking at it on a 30-minute, and I would say that if I were buying more XRP, it's sort of moving down a channel. Would you not agree with me there? It's sort of moving down a channel. There's probably going to be probably more of a dip, but I would say, and XRP tends to come up. It just tends to come up.
If I was going to buy it, I would ladder in. So that way it's not all you don't just take your entire wad, boom, buy it at a price, because if it goes down, then you're upset. Put in, some percentage of your coins that you would be acceptable to have. And then put buy orders lower than that, a little bit lower than that, a little bit lower than that. And then you'll be happy when it goes down because you're going to get more coins for your money.
Agreed. And based on this, the nice thing is you can see a channel here happening. So if you're going to do that ladder thing, like he's suggesting, you could play that out with
Yeah, I mean, like if you look at previous support levels, where it kind of hung out, went sideways for a while before, put your ladders there, right? Find yourself a pattern, and like when you see these long whips or wicks, it dipped down to that point before, it'll probably get there again, right? You got support levels. Also, like TA, it's important. Like TA gives you insight into not only what the price has done, but it gives you a higher probability on what it's going to do. And it takes some time, right? Like, I just popped open this XRP chart. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's got a channel. Looks reminiscent of Verge, right? It looks reminiscent of a bunch of things right now. Everything has got a channel going downward right now. But, it had those channels before and it popped up. Had that channel before, it popped up, right? You want to find out where it's going to go down to, and maybe that's the lowest rung of your buy, but learn how to do this so you look forward to the dips. For those of you who are new at TA, I would recommend going and checking out Hagen Lee's videos. That's how I got really interested in it. I would say don't look. I mean, you could look. Like I've watched all of his videos. I've been following that guy for a while. But what you should do is you should look at the videos on the bottom of every blog post he has. He explains how to set up buy setups, how to set up sell setups so you can get some profit in. Where you want to profit at the all-time high, or at the high of the consolidation phase. You want to know where it is to sell so you don't feel like you messed up. You want to buy at the low end of those. So he's got a thing about laddering techniques. You should watch it, pay attention, maybe take some notes, like maybe rewatch it. Take a look at what other people are doing in technical analysis, and you'll get a lot more insight than, oh, I'm just going to go buy this coin, or oh, it's going down, I'm going to sell, right? It gives you a little bit of peace of mind, and it makes you more deliberate in your decisions. And when you're more deliberate, when you've spent a little bit of time thinking about it, you can feel better about it. The worst thing is feeling like you made a mistake. And if you come at these decisions, because they are decisions, carefully with a little bit of thought, it's really just going to help, and it's really going to help your whole attitude on it.
He's dead on, folks. Oh, there's Alex. Only reason OCN took a huge hit is because of the Chinese pump and dump group. Hey, Alex, if you're free, feel free to come on the Discord. I don't know if you just arrived, but been here to console, to be the first responders, to be the crypto ER for all of the ailing spirits who are worried and stressed out about what's happened today. So I think we've had some good conversation in here. If you want to jump on Discord for a few, that's fine. If not, just help out in chat. So other than that, I'm not going to overtalk it. I do look forward to saving this video and just leaving it to be out there for the masses to listen to and watch. But folks, at the end of the day, just try to take it easy. Don't spend all night watching these charts. I of course you make sure you do some, if you got to set your stop losses, do that. But just try to be making logical decisions. Not go ahead.
Oh, sorry. If you're coming from the stock market and you're setting stop losses, set your stop losses lower with crypto. This stuff is, how do you say, turbulent and much more volatile than stocks. So stop losses are a real good way to get knocked out of the game. It's good to have them, But, just remember, you're telling a computer to do something for you in a wild market. Be careful.
Agreed. Alex is going to come on here. We'll wait for him. Give him a shot to definitely. He's going to have something good to say. I know it. Crypto crazy guy. Alex has nothing nice to say about the Chinese P&D groups. Don't ask, otherwise cover your virgin ears.
Yeah, there was a huge. I'm not even gonna say it. I don't know what happened with Pumping Up Group, but I know that there was a giant influence campaign. There's Chinese New Year's happening, and there's this candy thing that's going on, and I know OCN was part of that, and a lot of people got free tokens, so I'm not surprised they dumped them.
Captain Stu we're in agreement. He says, good call. For some people, they need to get themselves set, enjoy the evening, try and take your mind off of this. All will be fine. I think we overall have a consensus here. I'm glad I didn't know if I would come in here and I would say, hey, everybody, don't worry, be happy. And everybody would say, Jeff, stop having your little pipe dream and wake up, okay? And smell the coffee. Actually, I think we have an agreement here. Those of you who have been around long enough to know and think as I do, we've seen this before. So let's take it easy. Alex, if you're listening, we've had since I started this stream, we've had new people coming in, and so that's why I'm repeating myself here a bit. Give everybody a chance to listen. If you're new to the channel, we have a Discord. It's in the description. You're welcome to come on and join in the audible chat or just chat here. If you got any questions or concerns, or if you just need to scream out and say, where's my sound effects button? Should I play that sound effect button again? I don't know, maybe. But just get it out, get the lead out, and try not to. Don't bottle up. Just talk about it.
Yeah, it's funny. Before you hopped in the YouTube, we were actually having a very bullish discussion about the buying opportunities. So it was kind of funny that you popped in and you're like, "Hey, there's an emergency." It's like, it doesn't seem like there's an emergency. It seems great right now.
Yeah, it was. See, to you guys in that little Discord, nobody's been hearing the conversation. It's, I guess, great minds. I would say great minds think alike. I think your mind is greater than mine, but at least we are thinking alike for sure. Cordelia, this channel taught me to stay calm and relax since New Year's Eve. Bingo. So if you're new to the channel, this is what we do here. During the sunny days, it's sort of calm, laid back. We're all sitting around the campfire doing kumbaya, kicking back, taking it easy. There's not a lot of people on here. The numbers dwindle in the live stream, but I'll tell you what, when there's something going on like this, you better believe I'm trying to get here so we can talk about it, because I mean, it's going to be an unstable market, yes, but we can try to make it a little more stable by coming together. It's never any fun to be sitting there watching the exchanges by yourself and you don't know what to do. You wonder what everybody else is thinking. This is the place to find out. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, you better do so before the next crisis, because you'll see an alert come out, just like I put out here earlier. I asked the question, is this the end? Well, if you see me, if you get to know me, if I say something like that, you probably can safely assume I'm going to say no, and I'm going to talk about it. So, Matt, I appreciate you being here. It's good timing, because I really wanted to have some conversation. And as soon as Alex gets in here too, I look forward to hearing his thoughts. So how much longer, Alex? Oh, here he is. He's in. Hey, Alex. I see you're there. I can't hear you though. Let me make sure you got. Yeah, you've got permissions. Go ahead, Alex. Talk. Check your mic. Oh.
Oh. All right. I gotta go pick up my daughter.
Okay.
I'll be back in a bit. But everybody, hang tight. And it's nice to see you, Alex. Maybe we'll get to talk one of these days.
Very good. Well, yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. We'll see you here next time. We may bring, since Matt has left, we may bring Alex in on Facebook. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, is it working?
Oh, it works great. You sound great.
Finally.
Everyone, Elvis has entered the building.
Definitely not Elvis. How you doing, Jeff? You all right?
Well, I'm on the using a lyric from Elvis. I would say I'm all shook up, but I'm not. I'm not all. But I think there are people who are all shook up about today. And if you just tuned in, I came on here and gave everybody the lowdown of what I was thinking. And I think Matt was ironically on the same page. So what do you think? I mean, is the end near? Is this the apocalypse? Are we all going to die?
No, we're not going to die, I don't think. I mean, Instagram and Facebook have banned ICO ads. There's also this USD Tether scare, which I'm trying to look into, which I think's a bit of FUD. So basically, the CEO of USD Tether, who also owns Bitfinex, apparently there's a subpoena, which is basically a hearing that summons him to court over USD Tether. So I think in September they legal documents to prove that they had the funds, which was about 462 million, in a bank account to actually support the value. Well, they actually had a little bit more, but they had about 13 million more. But it was basically to support the value of Tether on, obviously on the currency within the space. I'm clever about it because what they did is they redacted the license document. Sorry, not the license, the legal document. So basically, they showed that they had the funds, but they didn't show where the funds were actually stored in terms of which bank account, which is really good because it means that the government can't cease. Well, the government can send a cease and desist, but they can't freeze that asset. As far as I know, I need to look into it more. I'm going to see if I can try and find this court paperwork. I do a lot of legal stuff in my own business, and I'm quite handy at doing that. So I'm going to see if I can find it. So loads of people are scared to death of Tether. I've done the opposite and gone into Tether. In like 12 months, you'll be fine. But I think it's going to probably be a bit rocky. I mean, it all depends on Coinbase and Goldman Sachs, I think. The media keep battering this space, which they do day in, day out. It's okay.
If you were, in case you did not join when Matt and I were talking earlier in regards to this subject with Tether that you just talked about, just so you know, I started out by reading that article from CoinDesk about Tether, and there was a sort of a consensus. There's a fuddish, there could be a fuddishness about that, but Matt and I were both in agreement that you may want to know what a defensive position would be in this case. Many today sold off, probably to to the US dollar from USDT, rather than doing another strategy like Matt. He basically was saying that he would move into Ethereum as a defensive position. Actually, I'm split across USDT, Ethereum, and BTC, and maybe a little lighter on the Ethereum. I sort of concurred with what he said. What are your thoughts on that, Alex?
Yeah, I would go for Ethereum over Bitcoin, without a doubt. I mean, I've been trading in Ethereum for the last couple of weeks solely and not touching Bitcoin. The thing with Ethereum is most of the ICOs are based in Ethereum, so relatively, Ethereum is only going to grow. ICO space is exploding, and so that's propped up by the ICOs, which is quite nice. Bitcoin is just kind of desperate for the Lightning Network at the moment, I think. And I mean, I'm looking at the market cap today, and Ethereum's catching Bitcoin up already. So yeah, and then obviously I said 4 weeks ago to everybody that the one that take the biggest hit would be Ripple, and that's worked out, and it's tanked from 362 to 10 or something earlier. I don't want to rub salt in the wound for people that own it, but everybody knows I don't like it.
And that's fine. I did want to say, Roger Maris.
Oh,
hold on.
Every truck guy has their own way of conveying powerful.
Oh, I hate it when websites pop up audio. Hold on, everybody.
You got the basic and you got the beefy. That is awesome. Yeah,
I was popping up an article, and I love the autoplay advertisements. So he was saying in the chat that Bloomberg had updated their article to include that the subpoena was sent on December 6th. This is 2 months old news. I'm pulling. I'm pulling up that article. I'm not just going to repeat that. I'm going to pull it up here for everybody to look at.
Quite clever, really. I mean,
it
all depends when Goldman Sachs are going to buy. I just don't know if they'd buy right now. That's the thing. I just don't know if they would buy at 10,000. I'm not sure.
Hold on, another autoplay commercial's getting ready to kick. Okay, I stopped it this time. Okay, I cannot find where that was updated. So, if you could confirm, I've got the article on screen. I'm trying to scan it real quick here with my.
They updated the original article. I'll just find it for you.
This article is that I'm looking at was released on 6 hours ago. Regulator subpoena crypto exchange Bittrex. Yeah, it's the topic. It's a long article. I'll put the link out for everybody. The one that I just found. Everybody gets to be a co-host and producer on this channel. There's too much information. So there you go. But if that statement is true and it's 2 month old news, then okay, it's something to consider. So again, Alex, I'm just repeating myself because people are coming in and out because of what I titled the video. Did you like what I titled it?
Let me have a look.
I said it's Jeff on
dramatic.
Yes, and do you see the thumbnail I put up of Homer Simpson saying the end is near?
Yeah, that was good, that one.
Yeah, I'm a little feisty like that, guys. I'm a little feisty. I'm a teaser, but I definitely, hopefully, for those of you who have clicked on that, have been baited in to come in here, you have found consolation and not panic, because we're not about panic here, are we, Alex? This is what we're good at. We're cool under pressure.
Sometimes it's good to do the opposite of what the media say. And everybody to buy Ripple, and it was at $3, you should have sold it. So whenever the media are telling everybody that USDT is going to crash when get banned, when in reality it probably isn't. And if it did, I mean, the court case alone would probably take a year. These legal things take a long time. The asset, then there's nothing they can do. Then yeah, if they say don't go into Tether, I'm going into Tether.
Yeah. Well, if you make your trading decisions based on the FUD, you're no better than the cattle that basically follows the fence all the way to the slaughterhouse.
And that's what they want you to do more than anything, because it's just like when Jamie Dimon said that Bitcoin was a bubble, and then it crashed to death, and then the next minute there's what they're called again now. It's JP Morgan on the actual order books placing a huge order.
Oh yes. Well, weeks ago we used to play around with this idea of don't be a plankton. Talking about whales, and I haven't said that for quite a while. So don't be a plankton, or maybe I'll just upgrade it to don't be driven to the slaughterhouse. Okay. Ali, he says this is just the beginning of Bitcoin. It's going to be at least 40K in 2018 at least. I haven't seen, Alex, since I started this stream, I've seen very little anxiety because we've been greeting everybody right in the door with calm down, relax, passing out the marshmallows, the weenies, sit around the campfire, kick back, enjoy the roast, right? As we all buy the dips. And also too, since you're just coming in, we were talking about how on my way home I did miss a chance to buy a dip. There may be another dip coming, but I definitely was looking forward to getting home, not to get in and sell, but to get in and buy.
Yeah, I would buy. It's been happening for months, which is basically the best time. The rallies happen at the weekend. They start to tail off on a Monday and Tuesday. They kind of ride down to Friday, and Thursday afternoon and Friday always seem to be the best times to buy. And then you have if it happened last week again, the weekend was booming again. So if you tend to buy to Wednesday onwards, towards the end of the week, Saturday afternoon, you can use day trading wise, you can.
Yep, I am in agreement. We're not going to, just to be clear, everybody, we're not going to go on here for hours like this. Alex, what I'm going to do is I'm going to capture this video and save it as a highlight for people to listen to the night, because we just can't. We could say the same thing over and over for hours, but it's still the same message. HODL or buy.
Yeah, it's the same as before. Yeah, it's just the same as before. Like if you're in this for the long term, in terms of 6 to 12 months minimum, then you're fine. I think you're fine, but yeah, I mean, it was always going to be the futures contracts end finished.
It'd be
interesting to see when Goldman Sachs actually start.
Oh, right. The backstab just he must have come in here late. He says, "Don't you think we'll have another change at a lower low?" I think you're asking if we're going to have another dip. Yeah, that's. I'm looking actually right now. If I'm looking at XVG, is doing another little dip. Of course, it goes alongside BTC. So let me see what BTC is doing right this second. And what
It's very clever, Jeff, because on the 10th of January they released an article saying that they'd sent out to investors, to stock market investors. This is Goldman Sachs saying that the title of these books was "Bitcoin is Money." So essentially, what they wanted to do was they wanted to get investors from the stock market into the cryptocurrency space. They released an article saying Bitcoin Sachs denies reports it's setting up a Bitcoin trading desk. So, it's very clever. Because I just think there's way too much money in this space for hedge funds not to be in it.
Right, absolutely. I'm looking at Bitcoin right now. It's stepped back to 10.2.
5.2 at the moment.
And so it's leaning toward. I'm just eyeballing this right now. I'm not going to great lengths to draw lines and charts, but if I eyeball that, I would sense that it's sort of doing a little bit of correction at the level it would drop down to. It maybe just jump around between 1061 and 10.5.
There's 9970, which is usually the price across the board. Binance is a little higher at the moment. On GDAX, it's 9968.
Yeah, I'm looking at the BTC USD. Looking at that, I see it. I guess what I'm eyeballing is 1025 up to 10550. I mean, I don't think it's going to go below. I don't think it's going to go below 9.5 tonight. Would you agree with that? I just don't see that happening. I don't see it taking a nosedive tonight toward the 8K that everybody has been forecasting. I just don't see it. What do you think?
8K in a day, no way. But I think be floating in the 9s next week, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And again, that's all said in the spirit of an opportunity, perhaps, to buy in, not out of anxiety of Bitcoin coming to an end, the sky falling, the universe blowing up. Don't see that. So thank you for your input, Alex. I know you're wanting to get in bed at a reasonable hour, and it's already late where you're at. If you're new to the channel, Alex is co-host and I'm co-host. We're co-hosts to each other, and we do this especially at a time like this. So we're definitely going to probably wrap it up here in a minute. But to give you guys just another minute here to, if you had anything to say, and if you have any questions you missed the last hour, you can rewind the stream and listen to it that way, and I will later post it up as a highlight, so we don't have to go over it again.
A nice thing to do is just to try and always have something spare on the side, even when, you know, the flying and Bitcoin's at 19,000. Just always have something spare. I think usually works out quite well.
Something spare, but don't spend what you can't afford to lose.
You know, only buy the dip if it's a proper dip, not 5%. You know, as in like a real dip. I think it's all exciting. It's pretty hard to predict. Yeah, I mean, it's mad.
It will drive you mad if you try to overthink it.
Yeah. An ISA is quite a good idea, because an ISA, you know that you're not going to touch for a year. So if you think of it as like a savings account, then, you know, a week or a day doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
Right. It's the big point is that we don't see cryptocurrency going away. We don't see not touching it for a year and coming back to find that, you know, finding a wasteland, nothing living in this ecos.
I disconnected.
You disconnected from?
No, I'm all right. It was somebody else. It's just someone else.
Okay. All right. So it looks like everybody's sort of going quiet on the chat. So maybe we've alleviated some anxiety, and we hope so. So thank you all for coming in, and my apologies for the clickbaitish type title, but obviously if you come in here, you realize it was all for the better. We didn't come in here to tell you that it's the end of Bitcoin. We've come in here to give you some hope. And that's the name of the channel, The Hope of Jeff H. Ulrich. You're listening to sort of an informal broadcast of Crypto Kumbaya. I'm Jeff. This is Alex. Alex, do you have anything to add before we pull off here?
He says, if you've got $1,000 to buy crypto, why would you buy Ethereum or Bitcoin and not one that costs less than $1? Well, directly in US dollars, then a lot of the time you'll need to buy the trading pair for it, which is Ethereum or Bitcoin, or sometimes Litecoin, and recently Neo. So, and on top of that, if Ethereum and Bitcoin go down, then they will affect the overall value of that coin anyway, even against the US dollar price. So, yeah, that's basically. Yeah, you can buy the coins direct if you want. Yeah, OCN. Someone mentioned OCN in here earlier, and still a really good project. And OCN was doing amazing. But then there was OCN have got a Telegram account that's got 30,000 people on it, and there was a huge Chinese pump and dump group that came in, and it was just prolific. They were ready to buy the hell out of everything. The price shot up, like doubled within about 10 minutes. And then another group came in telling everyone to sell. And then all the people in there that were just probably didn't know what was going on, you know, were panicking, and yeah, OCN was all over the place. So unfortunately that got taken advantage of by them guys. And then obviously the markets hit out a little as well.
Wow, so many stories written today. You could write a novel a day about cryptocurrency. Every day is a whole new book, not just a chapter. Some of the most.
I'm just going to look at Mysterium. If it's sorry, Jeff. Yeah, so I'm talking to a lot of people about like the future of this and the the possible like regulation of everything. Saying, well, there needs to be a company that are going to launch a decentralized VPN that everybody, that the blockchain can basically all the companies in the blockchain can work off. And we're building, and Mysterium got delisted on Bittrex only because the product isn't finished. So I talked about Mysterium about a week ago, and it was like $1.60 when I talked about it, and it's 60 cents now. For that to hopefully go down more and more, and then that's going to be like a really long-term hold for me, like a 1 to 2 year, along with SafeX, because I think that project's in SafeX. Hopefully, when you've got instances like this where there's a bit of a crisis, if you can possibly like try and look ahead a bit, to sit on for a year or 2 years, then there's opportunities to do really well in the long run. Hopefully, I think Verge in the long run will be great, but obviously right now they've got a lot to sort out, and it isn't helping them either.
Oh no. Alexandra, hi. She comes in here often. Actually, you came on the other day and I missed you. I wanted to say hey. She says maybe 1 or 2 altcoins could get to the level of Ethereum at BTC.
Going private, which is going to be the Z Classic fork, that's got the potential, and then obviously Dash has done that. So, which is $600. Oh my god, that's taken a hit. Huge, 684.
Well, never stop dreaming the unthinkable dream, as the old song goes.
But yeah, Alexandra is definitely right, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, a month ago, Dash was $1,500. Now it's $680. As well as Red Seas.
I think I'm going to name the live stream when I switch it back here to 24/7 hodling on the Hope Hangout, the Crypto Hope Hangout. What do you think?
That's a good one.
Well, that's what it's going to
become.
You name it
something like crypto is for crypto is for life, not just for Christmas or something.
Crypto is for, that's deep. You are quite the philosopher. I didn't realize.
No, I was thinking like a dog is for life, not just for Christmas. So it's not really that deep.
Okay, I was
play on that.
Yeah, but it sounded good. You need to be posting like I do on my Facebook these little thoughts for the day, right? Give people something to cling to. Oh, what's this? No junk talk junkie. Respect.
A couple of gangsters in here.
Yeah, okay, so junk that now.
People are just upset, aren't they, because they're losing money, which makes perfect sense. Like when people lose a lot of money.
Yeah, well, see, that person there who says the channel has gone to such and such. Okay, let me time that out because we don't need the likes of you talking right now. So, whatever you think.
I would lost money probably.
Yeah, apparently. So just keep your language kind. So if y'all think the channel's gone to pot, well, how about I pull the plug? Everybody want me to pull the plug and just leave it offline? Do you agree with him? Do you agree with what Junk That Now says? Has the channel gone to pot? You ready for me to turn off the live stream forever and ever? Is that good?
But when this is the thing though, Jeff, when Verge does another 1,000%, everybody will be back in here saying it's the best thing since sliced bread.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So I mean, you and I have been sort of in downtime. I'm sort of glad we have been resting up for at least this hour or two. It's the moment we wait for. I'd rather be there for the crisis than be there for, the non-crisis. So, and
it's not really a crisis now because it's you know, the market cap's still 506, but we're still
in the
volatile.
perception of as Matt was putting it, many people who are new, their perception might be that we're in a crisis, which we want to speak to that. This is not a crisis. It's an opportunity.
In December as well, then, or the start of January, then, yeah, they're going to be.
Oh, look, Junk, that now. You're drastically in disagreement with others, so I think take your little time out and think about what you said for a moment. Okay. Just hang out and chill. I love it. Yeah, we're family friendly here, so you know, Jazz. Right now, just so you know, it's okay for you to have a feeling like that. Just keep it clean, okay? This is a family friendly channel, so please do that. When you're 5 minutes up, come back in and say hey, and we'll be friends. All right, guys. Do you think the price will dip more today or tomorrow?
Well, I think personally that this is a correction off the weekend. That's what I think. But the problem we've got at the moment is to sustain any kind of growth. So at the weekends we have a lot of green, but we're not really rising from that. We seem to just be kind of falling back each time. So it's made over the weekend. They're starting to fall away basically at the moment. And with you, Jeff, because I know you were up massively on mana, and I'm guessing you're probably about even now, I would guess.
Oh, actually, if you hear my phone going off here, it's sending me an alert that Ethereum just dropped down to 1048, so it's hanging around that 1050 mark. Let me tell you what my Ethereum is at right now. I can pull that up easier on my phone. It says that it is at 1122 presently, and I bought in at 900. I have never been down on mana.
Awesome, that's great. You know what, Ethereum's on.
Oh no, Johnny Alexander, this looks more like a road to hell than Stairway to Heaven. Do you want me to play? Do you want me to play some Led Zeppelin? Stairway to Heaven. Would that help? You know that one, don't you, Alex? Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can just think it. We don't have to play it. We can just think it. Alex, you should sing that with me. I get my guitar out. Can you sing that? Can you do Robert Plant
I can't. If I sing, you will have negative subscribers. Literally, you'll have loads of for terrible voice and zero watching.
I know. I mean, I don't know. Robert Plant's not that hard to imitate. I mean, until you start doing the screaming, that's the part I struggle with. But what do you say? You know, and we're climbing the stairway to heaven. See, the difference is a support in these main large coins as not as big as the support last drop. So yeah, if you guys are coming in, and some of the regulars are coming in and giving all kinds of good wisdom. So if you're new to the channel, that's why we're here. It has not gone to pot like some knucklehead said earlier. This is actually what we were doing on New Year's, Alex, if you remember. I know you remember. This is what we're good at.
I remember actually. Yeah, it was the same. It was a similar thing. I think New Year's was a bit harder than this. There was a bit more blood, but well.
Well, we were establishing our community at that time, and so we now we have a lot of people who have, I guess, this is not our first rodeo, but we do have some newcomers that have come in here and are now realizing why we're here. Just like a quick 60-second, while we're just sort of calming down for a minute. So Alex and I are continue to talk about things to do with the channel. We do a lot of live stream, but we're actually working on some interviews. Seriously, I know we said that before. Seriously, we're working on some interviews. And Alex, I have some more to tell you later when you get after you had some rest. I got some more leads coming in. So yeah, there's some devs out there who are asked to come on here and be interviewed. I guess realizing that we aren't desperate for them, but we'll give them a fair and balanced interview, and we'll see how that goes. But we're talking. We're going to do some more feature videos. Alex did one the other day off his GoGo channel and asked me to syndicate that over here. If you haven't seen it, it's there. It's the OCN video that he did. So these informational things we'll just sort of put out from time to time. But definitely, this is a video we will release for sure, because I think
the first live video on YouTube for OCN as well. Which I did it at 25 cents, 99, but I think it's back down at like, it got to it was at 2.5 cents and got to 11 cents, and it's back down around 6, I think now. But yeah, we've got that junk guy back now. So he said this used to be the Verge channel. What happened, and what's with all the clickbait tiles and aerial information. Some information earlier, but you weren't actually here. So that was to do with USDT and to do with Facebook and Instagram ban of cryptocurrency ads. And then Jeff, I don't know if you want to comment on the
question from about Verge. Yeah. So first of all, that what I'm about to say is not to say that I'm out of Verge. I am still majority in Verge, but the world does not orbit around Verge. Actually, this is very much, Verge has been going sideways for days, waiting to see what Bitcoin would do. So if you got your head in a box, so to speak, on just Verge, and we don't discuss anything else, we're bound to get blindsided. So try to think big here, Junk That Now. And as far as clickbaity titles, clickbaity is where you come in here, I leave something up like that, and then when you arrive, there's no conversation that basically says, in response to the question, is this the end? We're answering the question. That's why I open it up this way. People who are asking that question, who are saying, is Bitcoin going down? That's what they're searching for. If they arrive in here, we're giving them a better perspective of what this all means. So if you can't value that approach, then I'm sorry. Maybe this isn't the channel for you, but I hope you stick around, because I hope you found something. I think a lot of people in here are finding this conversation useful. So I want to move on now. Okay, Junk That Now. People are up for the interviews. That's Chris.
And for Junk, sorry Jeff, for Junk That Now as well, if you look on his Twitter page, like yesterday's tweets, you'll see that I'm actually in there asking him for an interview for about a week. I'm trying my best to get him on for you guys, but if I reach out to him a dozen times and I'm not getting anything back, nothing I can do. So like me and Jeff, we're both trying hard, aren't we, Jeff, to get him on the channel? But at the moment, we're just not getting anywhere.
Oh, right. But with others, we are. Actually, Alex, I don't want to say anything out loud except it was a specific.
You sent it me on Facebook, I think. I think I know which one you mean.
Yeah, there is one that is quite created a little controversy a couple of days ago, and we may have an opportunity. Well, they sort of want to talk to us, and we haven't said yes to that yet, because I don't mind playing this out. Alex, my thought is, if there is a situation where we have somebody we want to interview, but maybe the best thing would be to do some of these interviews not live, but record them, give everybody a chance to sort of think about what just happened, do some editing, and then stick it out there and play it maybe in the live stream, but as a recording. Others might be better live. Different formats for different situations, but definitely the goal, in my mind, is always to give everybody in the community a chance to hear the answers to the questions presented as fairly as possible. And, no FUD, no anything except just good information so people can make good choices. That's what we're going to try. We are trying to do, and I think the interview we did with Zoin, I thought that was a great dress rehearsal for the future.
Definitely, without a doubt. If that junk guy, if we've answered that junk that now guy's question or not, hopefully, or if he's done a hit and run.
Yeah. Well, you can't make everybody happy. We try. The chat is definitely healthy right now. People are talking. That's great. And that's what we want to get, the momentum on at a night like this, get the chat going and everybody just talk it through. It doesn't need Alex and I to be here 24/7. So help each other out, please.
Yeah, and this isn't as bad as December 31st, because December 31st, coin in the top 50 or near enough was at least 20% down that night. I remember. It was either December 30th or 31st, but yeah. So it's not that bad at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kudos on the interview there from Homestead. To you there, Alex. Yeah, Alex facilitated that whole interview and did the majority. I was sort of out of it that night. I was being the silent producer in the background, getting the windows up, letting Alex do all the thinking. So Michael Cooper, you probably just arrived. If you do want to rewind back in the stream, I did start out this. See when I start this. If you rewind about an hour and 40 minutes ago, I started out with that article and we discussed that pretty well. So about an hour and 40-minute rewind, and then I'll put this whole thing as a clip out there later too. So if you missed anything in what we're talking about here right now, and we're starting to wrap up, rewind about an hour and 40 minutes in the stream, and you'll be able to pick up from the beginning.
Yeah, there's more news about it as well. This is 3 hours old. The article I saw before was 4 hours old, but it's basically to do with Tether's relationship with an auditing firm called Freeman LLP. Yeah, it said that bit that I've mentioned earlier, where they basically confirmed that they had 442 million in September. This is back in September. Or scare tactics, I think.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, cattle. Looking for cattle.
Tether as well. If you take out the possibility of it being banned as such, it'd have to be seized anyway. Then, it contains 2 billion in here. So for it to go to zero, I mean, there's going to be a lot of latecomers that aren't on the screen every day, like us guys, or every week. This won't go to zero. It's the same thing with BitConnect. There'll still be funds in there, and as long as you haven't got like $1 million in there or something, you're fine. So I think, yeah, it's okay. I think it's actually quite into that, because if people cash out into, if people basically sell BTC off, or sell their alts off of BTC, send BTC to Coinbase and cash out, dip, a bit more, then we get to a point where people are buying back in, and waiting on Coinbase. But if you're in USDT, then you've got it immediately, so you can buy it at the low, and essentially, hopefully, and then all the guys that flood in after you who are waiting for Coinbase transactions for 3 days, and then you can sell it off for some good profit, hopefully. That's my thinking.
It's good thinking. Chris said, I was just about to buy more ETH before that FUD came out today. Missed that 10% bullet. Yep. I missed it for a different reason, but that's okay. I'm resetting my alerts for the next dip. I think people think, I think some people who come in here probably think we're absolutely nuts. Being so optimistic. But we have good cause. And again, if you haven't been in here, we're not going to repeat all of it. Just go rewind about an hour and 45 minutes. You'll hear why.
The race.
Well, somebody got after me a couple of days ago. They said I never asked people enough to like the channel and so on. So if you, I know I should do that. I'm not much of a chummer for likes and all that, but I'll go ahead and say it. Definitely would help our channel if you would like it, like the post, like the sub us and all that fun stuff, and read the description about other ways you can support us. We'll keep doing it, especially when it counts. With your support in those ways, make YouTube take us seriously by giving us engagement. They don't. I wish they would count the chat traffic as engagement. That's a big tell, but they don't.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Good point, actually.
Yeah, they don't. I think it's funny. They do count. They do have a count on the number of messages in the chat, but I don't think they use it at all for measuring interest.
Do you know if I've been looking at Steam recently? Because there's a lot of contributors on there that are getting paid, so there a lot of people are moving from YouTube to Steam. So I was wondering if Steam actually do a live stream option or not, because it's all obviously built on the blockchain as well.
We'll have to look at that.
But you have to wait a week, I think, before you actually can get allowed into the site, into like the social network.
Oh, if only this was a full-time thing. If only. What a day to not have a vacation day. Would have been a great day.
This is one of the reasons why this space is so amazing, because, the people have experienced this whole problem where, corporations such as YouTube are holding your channel back on purpose, as you've seen from the analytics, because they can, because they're a corporation, whereas on a decentralized platform like Steam, the controls in the publisher's hands. So this is like what's so exciting about blockchain, because it gives the power back to the people. The huge corporations that make a fortune off everybody, basically.
Oh yeah, it's in many venues that YouTube and Facebook, Twitter, they're really in the business of driving agendas, and I wish they cut it out, because what they're going to end up regulated. It's going to happen.
I think it's happened already, because hasn't the channel had something like over 1 million minutes of video watched, and
I don't mind sharing that. Actually, guys, so let's just not to be boastful here, but it's just sort of on topic.
Not boastful in terms of actually being able to activate the features on the back end.
Right. Well, the analytics. The reason I would pull up the analytics right now too is to say that it's not just about the numbers in terms of engagement that we have, but it's truly about it is about engagement. But in terms of views, it's not just about that. So the more you do to support the channel by clicking like, and like somebody found one of my little tiny videos out there and said about a dog and bicycle. Anyway, you saw it in the chat. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can pull that up here. Okay, the analytics for.
Initially, our idea was that we were going to try and monetize the channel to give a large percentage of and all the super chats to charity, weren't we? But because back on purpose, even though we've passed all of the figures in order to do that, which is just a joke. I think you've contacted YouTube or something, Jeff, and
well, yeah, it's like speaking into an abyss. 2,148 subscribers in what we started a month ago. 87,969 likes or views actually, and just some numbers, guys. That's all. What's relevant here is that we've gotten quite a bit of activity. So the question is, why can I still not monetize anything, even though the majority I wouldn't monetize? But why do I not even have that status yet? Why is it that when I scroll down here, where is that video? Oh yeah. The Coinbase thing is now, the Coinbase video we did is up to 30,375 views. And that's, if you just look through the numbers, we got quite a bit here. If you look at the analytics, we'll just go to the dashboard. Yep. Watch time 3,707,924 minutes. Average. So average view duration is like 22 minutes, which, you know, it's sort of people come in and out of the live stream all the time. Oh yeah.
So high.
But we have like here's one, the Verge XVG Wraith Revival. There was 1 million minutes, 1,113,000 minutes of watch time on that. So 41,000 views. So we got the numbers. Definitely please engage with likes and all that. I appreciate it. I want to overdo that. But sometimes I think people just really don't realize what matters in the way the algorithms work behind these social networking engines, and then plus the intervention of folks who have an agenda. Yeah, thanks for being here. Alex, we're probably gonna probably be disciplined here and get ready to jump off.
Yeah, sure.
If you're ready to do the same, or you can stay on if you want. But if you lose,
go to bed, I think.
Yeah, if you lose any sleep, not good. Could I?
I'm okay. I'm used to this.
Yeah, I'm trying not to be used to too much going to work on 1 hour sleep like I did several weeks ago. That makes.
I meant as in the market, but yeah, my sleep's getting back to normal, which is great. Yeah.
Yeah, I will leave the live stream up. People were asking me if I'm going to do that, and before I walk out of here, I want to make sure I answer any questions. Chris follows us both. Thank you very much. I mean that. Yep. Great engagement, guys, in the chat. Appreciate that a whole lot. And so in parting, can I share something with you? You know, it's sort of interesting that before Alex, I'm gonna explain something to you. So I'm the guy who's, you know, I'm very thoughtful. You know, I have faith. I have a backbone of faith, and sometimes it's interesting that thoughts will pop into my head, and I came up with this right before Alex told me what I'd been missing all day about the USDT and the market doing its thing, bottoming out. And I wrote this out, and sometimes it maybe these passages seem a little ambiguous, but I think this may have meaning. So here's what I wrote before I even knew there was a problem today. I said, I put this on my Facebook. I said, I just want to encourage everyone today to not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow shall bring its own worries. Find joy in the blessings of today, no matter how seemingly minuscule, for the single breath of a loved one is in itself precious. Consider my meaning, have faith, and you shall then have the hope of confidence rather than the uncertainty of wishful thinking. So there you go.
Morning.
Take that to heart.
I read that earlier, Jeff. I saw it on your Facebook.
Yeah, there's a meaning there. There's a meaning. Sometimes I'll write those things out, and I'm not even sure why. But it just makes sense. So now it all makes sense to me. I think that applies. Everybody take that to heart, no matter what's your background. Be patient. Be wise in your choices and your trade. And just make sure you take some time away tonight and go love your family, your kids, or whatever. This will pass. I have faith in that. So there you go. Thanks everybody. Alex, thank you. You're the star.
No worries. I'm not a star at all.
Oh, you are the star. I'm just the lowly producer in the background. but we are friends, guys. Alex and I, like I say, we've developed a friendship that just as uncanny as this whole live stream has been. It's even to make friends and across the pond like that. It's been a very neat thing. So if you hear a little bit of chemistry going on here, we've made that discovery. That's frankly worth more than a single Bitcoin to me.
And we have more in common than we ever knew as well, which is quite scary.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So you take something like that. It's like what my statement said earlier. I said, find joy in the blessings of today, no matter how seemingly minuscule, for in the single breath of a loved one, and that's a friend, is in itself precious. So we use that energy to get to tomorrow. And but I bid you all a good night. Thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. And I promise I'll change this description so you won't be bombarded with people coming in a state of panic. I promise. I will do that before I jump off of here. So there you go. And also, one last thing. I do have to stop the live stream for about 4 minutes until it saves. And that way it's a safer thing for me to clean up. And then I will turn it back on. The chat will continue while the stream is down. So no worries. Just keep talking to each other and wait for the stream to come back up. All right, guys. Alex, thank you so much.
Catch you tomorrow, Jeff, I guess.
Yep, we shall. We'll see you all later. Hang in there. Hodl. Good night.